Hello world, my name is Sarah and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. This is the first time I've ever done something like this. I actually am learning how to edit as I'm filming this. This isn't even my camera. I'm working on a lot of borrowed equipment and time. For those of you that know me, you know a couple of things about me. You know that I'm a teacher, you know that I live in San Marcos, Texas, and that I've lived here since I was in college, and you know that I have a really, really great life. But I'm about to change a lot of those things with the exception of having a great life. So I'm going to give you just a quick rundown of what I'm doing, and then tomorrow I'm actually going to have another video, which is like my first episode of this vlog called Sarah for Real. Now let's talk about teaching for a second, because I quit. After 5 years of teaching, I resigned. I loved teaching. I was good at it. It was fun for me, but it was also exhausting, which I know you would say, well, yeah, jobs are exhausting. It's your job. But I started looking at my life and thinking what I really wanted in my life and what I wanted it to look like. And for me personally, I cannot balance a healthy personal life and a life teaching high school English. I started looking at what the last couple of years has been like for me and just thinking about the next 30 and just saying, I don't know that I can do this for the rest of my life. I used to think that people that put themselves first were selfish, but now I get it because I don't know how to prioritize my own emotional and physical needs over the needs of 200 people. And so that's caused me a lot of issues over the last 5 years that I'm hoping to reprioritize over time. I'm trying to focus on spiritual health. I'm trying to focus on physical health, and physical health is something that kind of went out the window when I started teaching because there just isn't time. On a good week, on a slow week teaching, it's about 60 hours of work. On March to end of May for me, it was 75-hour weeks. And at some point I realized I wasn't going to be able to have the lifestyle that I really wanted and continue working this job that I really loved. And so I made a decision, and it was one of the hardest decisions I've made in a very long time. The last week of school was really painful. For those of you that were in my class, you know that I cried a lot, and I'm not a big crier. Cleaning out my classroom and going through old pictures and old notes from students was really quite painful. But now I'm on to a new adventure. So you might be wondering, what are you doing then? Okay, I'm going to take my life, which has been very normal, very stable, very by the book. I'm a high school teacher, I live in a house, I go to work, I come home, I volunteer at my church, just totally normal, everyday American life. And I'm going to totally turn that upside down. And last October, I got this wild hair to try something I've always wanted to, which was to narrate audiobooks. And you might think, well, that's a weird thing to try and do. And really it came from a couple of years ago. I thought to myself, on a really tired day, I was probably grading papers till like 3 in the morning, and I thought to myself, gosh, I really wish I could just read books for a living, because I like to read. And a couple of weeks later, I was listening to an audiobook. I remember thinking, someone's doing that. I wonder how they're doing that. And that was 3 years ago. So fast forward to this past year, a couple of things lined up, and I just Googled, how do you narrate audiobooks? And so a week later, I sent in my first audition. A few weeks after that, I got my first job. Now, it was about a 7-hour fiction novel. I probably spent 90 hours working on it because I didn't know what I was doing, but I just did it. And I sent it in, and total, I think I've made like $160 on the whole project, but I learned a lot. And so then after that book, I just sent in a few more auditions, and then I got hired for a few more jobs. And this narrating thing kept coming to mind of like, man, I'd really like to see if I could do that and, you know, create a lifestyle long term that could be a little more enjoyable. And I knew that was going to mean having no money up front, but if I could just hustle enough, maybe I could make my life the way that I want it. But I thought, what if I got a camper, and what if I remodeled part of it into a small studio and I lived in it and I worked out of it and that's all I did full time? What if I did that? And I was like really nervous about that. I didn't think it was going to be good enough for people. Like I've always had this very stable, very conscious, fail-proof path that I've been on, and I just thought, what are people going to think? Because what if it's not good enough? It was really hard to then realize that I care a lot what society says about me and what my friends and people I don't even know and strangers, what they think. And a few people have expressed their complete disdain for the idea of doing this. By one person that they felt like my decision to do this was a result of really terrible parenting, thought that was kind of rude. I'm 27, but you know, maybe, probably not though. I've been told that I'm not responsible enough to do something like this, that I don't have the kind of focus that you need. One person also compared me to bubbles coming out of a overloaded machine, that I was just too chaotic to make it happen. And then my response was, maybe I'm just in the wrong machine. Maybe this isn't the way that I'm supposed to be living. Maybe it would be better for me to function in a different system. So I'm gonna try. With the exception of a couple of people that have been honest and concerned, and I totally appreciate people's genuine concern, and I think that speaking truth is important. I think being honest is important, and so I'm not even mad about people that have said things that are kind of rude. For the most part, people have been really, really supportive, and I just wanted to open up the platform and show you guys this process that I'm about to go through. Not only did I quit my job, and not only am I about to get rid of all of my stuff, I'm moving away from my community, I'm moving away from my job and from my church and from this town that I've lived in for, you know, almost a decade. But it's time, and I might be back. I don't know. I might be back in 3 months. I don't going to can tell you, like I might hate what's happening, and I might want to just call my old school back and beg them for a job, and hopefully they would have me back. But yeah, this is me trying something new. So, with that being said, welcome to the introduction of my vlog, Sarah For Real. Because my goal is to be as real with you guys as possible about the ups, the downs, the excitements, the dirt, the feelings. Like, I want to be real and just show you guys how I'm doing. And I've been trying to figure out a way to document this process as well as possible. And then a bunch of people said, hey, you should vlog it. You should vlog your experience. You should show. So I don't know anything. And so I'm just going to. But here's my introduction to say hello, to get it out there. Tune in tomorrow for my first full episode of Sarah For Real. I love you guys. I hope you're having a great day, a great week, and I hope that you'll tune in tomorrow. Thanks.